So, good day to everyone. Since we are already done with our midterm topic, so now we will proceed to our next topic. So, since I am not available, so let us use this platform para on track gihapon ta sa ato ang topic. So today we will be presenting a topic that's crucial to team performance and team dynamics. So our topic for today is about team cohesion in sport. Okay? So we'll be exploring the types, the measurements, the determinants and impacts of cohesion in team sports. Okay? So now let's first know what is team cohesion. So let's first define team cohesion. So team cohesion is a dynamic process reflected in the tendency for a group to stick together and remain united in the pursuit of goals and objectives. So this means that team cohesion refers to a dynamic process where members of a group stick together and remain united while working towards common objectives. So it's not about working together, but it's about being truly aligned in purpose and commitment. So there are two main types of cohesion. Again, unsa ang cohesion? It is a process to stick together and remain united in terms of their goals and objectives within a team. Now, there are two types of team cohesion. The first one we have here is task cohesion. Task cohesion and social cohesion. So, task cohesion is the degree to which team members work together to achieve specific goals, whereas social cohesion is the degree to which team members like each other and enjoy personal satisfaction from being part of the team. Okay, so when we say task cohesion, it focuses on the group's ability to work together toward common goals. What are those goals? Like winning a championship match. Okay? And social cohesion refers to how well team members like and support one another outside of their sporting roles. Okay? So both are essential types no that enables a team to be stronger in one area than the other. Okay, so sa ganitong duha ka types of team cohesion, we have number one, team cohesion, task cohesion, and number two is social cohesion. Now, there are two approaches in measuring cohesion. So, we can measure the eye cohesion through what? Through indirect measurement and direct measurement. So, indirect measurement uses sociograms where team members indicate their feelings about others. Okay? This means that team members reveal preferences or bonds by indicating unsa ilang gusto or dili gusto. So they use sociograms as a measurement, not to indicate their feelings to other members. Whereas direct measurement, athletes answer questions about their attraction to the team and perceptions of group integration. So direct measurement, no, which asks athletes how they feel about their team and how united they perceive the group to be. So they ask directly to the athletes. Okay, so gets ninyo ang difference in direct measurement and direct measurement. So ang their indirect measurement, they use sociograms as a tool to ask their feelings about their team members. Whereas direct measurement, so they ask the athletes directly about their perception of um, how they perceive the group, no? So here we have here a model. So a model which explains cohesion through four key elements. So this model is called the conceptual model of team cohesion. So here we have four key elements. So we have here athletes' perception of team, group integration, individual attraction, group orientation, social, and task. So for the athlete's perception of team, so in this element, this is how the athlete perceives the team. Their perception of the team, what are their thoughts of their team? No, kusog ba ilang yung perceptions sa iyang team or needs more practice? Okay? Number two, group integration. This is how close and bonded the group feels as a whole. Unsa sila ka-close, unsa sila ka-as one as a team. Number three, individual attraction. So, individual attraction to the group. Okay? And number four, group orientation. So, whether the focus of the orientation is kaning social and or task oriented. So, this helps professionals or athletes diagnose and improve group dynamics. Also, to assess cohesion, these are various questionnaires that are used. These are tools for measuring cohesion. So we have here kaning five tools to measure cohesion. So we have number one, sport cohesiveness questionnaire. So number two, we have sport cohesion instrument. Number three, Group Environment Questionnaire or GEQ, and Team Psychology Questionnaire. So these are all the tools used in measuring cohesion, but among the five tools, the most widely used and validated tool is the Group Environment Questionnaire or the GEQ questionnaire. Okay, so this is a primary inventory used by sports psychologists, which comprises 18 items measuring four dimensions based on the conceptual model. Okay, and yes, it consists 18 only items that assesses both task and social cohesion. So it varies from individual or group perspective, and it is considered the gold standard for measuring cohesion in sports. Okay? So again, it is consisted 18 items that measures task and social cohesion. When we say task cohesion, this involves the goal of a team, the perspective if they are united as a team, their goal. Whereas the social cohesion, this is how they perceive their team. If their team is enough no na if their perception is kaya nila talunin ang championship, so that is called their social cohesion. So what influences cohesion? So these are determinants of team cohesion. We have the personal factors. So when we say personal factors, this involves our personality, our motivation. So that comes from within ourselves. And when we say team factors include our shared goals. What is the goal of the team? The goal of the team is to score 5 points above. So that is another determinant of a team cohesion. And we also have leadership factors. So this involves the coaching style. So if the coaching style fits the needs of the athletes, so that is a leadership factor. We also have environmental factors, factors such as group size and setting. So when we say environmental factors, kung unsa mo kadaghan as a team or asa giheld ang inyong venue or ang inyong practice. So that is also a factor kung tahay kulang ang inyuhang equipment. So, and then, init, walay atop ang inyuhang venue. So, that is another determinant of cohesion. And also, lastly, we have communication among members. No? So, how well do they communicate with their teammates? How well do they um, establish their goals through communication? So those are the determinants of team cohesion. Personal factors, team factors, leadership factors, environmental factors, communication among members. So remember the acronym PTLEC. Okay? Okay. Now, so then what? Now we are always talking about cohesion. So what about cohesion? So what are the consequences of team cohesion? So when cohesion is high, both the group and individual benefit. Okay? Okay, so unsa gani ang definition of cohesion? That is the ability of an individual or a team to stick together as one, as united to attain their kaning goal, no? So when cohesion is high, both the group and the individual will benefit from it. Okay? So for the group outcomes, they have team stability, absolute and relative performance. And for individual outcomes, they have better behavior, more engagement, and higher personal performance. So why? Why nga ingani? Why would it benefit the individual and the group if the cohesion is high? No, say for example, as a kaning team sport event, a volleyball player. So, in what ways can they display team cohesion? Okay, let's say a volleyball player na tanan teammates niya diri nag-practice while ikaw nagtan-aw lang ka sa ilaha like okay kaya na nila. Is that an example of team cohesion? Okay, so the answer is no. So if you are if your cohesion is high as an individual, dili nimo hayaan nga while your other players, your other teammates is practicing 100% and then ang imuhang energy lang sa practice, imuhang commitment sa practice is 5%. So it doesn't display team cohesion. So kung makita nimo imong teammates na 100% ang ilahang commitment sa practice, you as well will also be mahypod ka na ay kani dapat 100% ako ang energy and commitment sa practice kay among goal is to win the championship match, to reach the championship match. That is an example of team cohesion. Now, sticking with your teammates in order to reach your goal. Kung unsay ginabuhat sa imong team, buhaton pud nimo, no? So, ayan siya. So, not only that, but research backs this kaning theory. So here, a meta-analysis by Caron et al. 2002 found a strong relationship between cohesion and team performance. So there is a strong relationship, meaning when the cohesion is high, the team performance also improves. Another study by Holt and Sparks 2001 found that in teams with high social cohesion, members exert more effort, which then improves performance. Okay, when we say social cohesion, that is their perception, how they perceive their team. No, their team's performance, kung ilahang perception sa ilang team is kaning high, meaning they are very kaning naa sila teamwork, no, and then kaya nila talunon ang taas ilang kumpiyansa sa ilang sarili, meaning taas po ang ilahang performance. Mas mag-improve ang ilahang performance. Okay? Also, cohesion also influences psychological factors like mood, emotion, and momentum. 'Di ba? Kung taas kag kumpiyansa sa imong sarili, imong mood, ano pud ka, like aggressive pud kay ka to do your thing na para maka-contribute sa imong team. Also, kung taas pud ang cohesion, you have the ability to maintain effort under stress. No? Bisan stress ka in many factors sa imong school, sa imong coach, but you have the ability to maintain that effort para lang makakontribute ka sa team. No? And even it also contributes how resilient teams are when it comes to conflict and disruption. Kung naay conflict, so they can resolve it kaning healthily. Okay? So now, there is one interesting question. Again, does cohesion leads to better performance or does winning create better cohesion? What's your thought about it? What comes first? Cohesion before better performance or outcome and then cohesion? So what's your thought about it? So research no suggests it's a two-way street. No, while cohesion boosts performance, success also tends to bring people closer. Okay? And luckily, cohesion can be developed. So cohesion can be improved. So in what way can it be improved or developed? So coaches or trainers can promote effective communication. Okay? Of communication is really a tool in improving cohesion. Also, clearly defining roles, organizing team building activities, provide a strong leadership, and build a positive team environment where everyone feels valued. Okay? Sa team, dili mo yun na mawala ng mga kaning sa tawag ani favoritism. But it also, no, as a factor mentioned earlier, the leadership of a coach is a factor also in kaning improving team cohesion. So, the coach should build a positive team environment where everyone feels valued. So, to sum up, team cohesion plays a vital role in both performance and athlete satisfaction. Whether it's achieving goals or creating lasting bonds, understanding and nurturing cohesion can make or break a team. Okay, so that's all for now for our topic about team sport and team cohesion. I hope that you've learned something from our video discussion.